Today we're going to talk through a simple Tanktronic setup for monitoring only. We've got our sensor in this tube here, which represents our tank. That comes back to the connection box, which is then wired into the Tanktronic unit in the 3800 port. Incidentally, the SCV valve goes back to the same port. You don't have to have them going straight into the same connection box here. They can go through a connector, or you can daisy chain them. When you first turn Tanktronic on, you come up with the setup wizard, which talks you through the process of setting the tank up. The first choice you get is to have a disabled or enabled pin. You just scroll up and down, and if you choose enable, you would select your pin, press next. We're going to select one single tank, but you do get options of two single tanks or a balanced tank, otherwise known as a twin tank. If you do set up a twin stroke balanced tank, it's exactly the same as setting up a single tank, but it'll ask you to do tank 1, then tank 2, etc. The first things that it asks is to put in the surface area of the tank. But we've only got a very small tube here, so we're just going to set it at its minimum. It's quite easy to work out the surface area because normally you've got a tank made up of meter panels, so if it's 2 by 2, obviously it would be 4 square meters. If you get it wrong, it doesn't really make too much difference. You'll still get the right depth readings, you'll just get an incorrect volume reading. Press next, close level. We're going to set it at 0.7 because that's the maximum height that we can have it in our tube. Next, fill delay. That's the difference between opening and closing. Set at 0.2 as a factory set, or 200 mil, we'll leave it at that. Then it asks you for your high level alarm, which is obviously the distance above your close level. We're going to set that to its minimum because you want it to alarm as soon as you can. The minimum is 0.06 of a meter, or 6 centimeters, to prevent waves cutting in the high level alarm frequently. The low level alarm, 0.2 below your opening level, I'll leave it as that. Your high level temperature alarm, 20 degrees C. Your low level at 5 degrees, I'm going to drop that down a little bit to 2 degrees. 5 degrees is probably a little high. Save new settings. Do we want to reselect the sensor? We do, because that's actually where you pair the sensor with the Tanktronic software. So you take the lid off the box, press reselect. It'll deselect any sensors that were already on there. Press complete. It's then going to ask us to press the button on sensor 1. If you had 2 sensors, you would do it in series. But press and hold the button on sensor 1. Successfully set. That's the sensor now paired with Tanktronic. Go to the alarms, clear the alarms, and go back to the main menu. So as you can see there, it's reading at 48 litres. That's obviously incorrect, but we can only go down to 0.1 of a metre. It's giving us our water level and our temperature. Now, to set the date and time correctly, you go to System, Config, Set Clock, and then you just scroll through the times, 14th of the 5th, 2026, 1350, as I'd already set this up previously. Save. And that's how you set up a Tanktronic system.